Hi guys, welcome back. Trader Stewie with you here from theartoftrading.net. I just want to do a video with you guys about a trade that we did yesterday here at the Art of Trading. I just want to kind of just go quickly through it and just tell you exactly what I saw in this trade and how we played it, and which ended up being like a really nice trade, especially for those who played it all the way till the very end of the trading session. Anyway, so basically the market has been selling off for a few days now. So I personally, I've been sending emails to subscribers, to be a little bit more defensive, move, have as much cash as possible for the last few weeks. Personally, I mean, I haven't been doing any trading at all for like probably about a week now. I've just been sitting in cash and just waiting, for just until good opportunities start to come back, which have been lacking for a while in this market for the last few days. So basically, yesterday, what we start seeing is we start seeing as the market kept selling off, the S&P 500 on a daily chart started to approach the 50-day moving average. So right away, I knew that at that point we should see some sort of stabilization at that point. But I wanted to make sure, rather than before we just buy randomly or just because it's touching the 50-day moving average, doesn't mean it's an automatic buy signal. You have to wait for confirmation, for entries, and you get a lot of things need to align for you to place trades in trying to play trying to play long positions on a 50-day test of the S&P. So basically, what I saw here's the 15-minute chart of the S&P 500 of the SPX 15-minute chart, and as you will see, um, here, hold on. Okay, as you will see, here's the 15-minute chart of the S&P 500. This is what I saw yesterday in the chart. So you can see here, this is over a few days time. You can see here, been tracking this chart here for a while, and you can see here it started to resemble the selling as the selling kept as the market kept going down and dropping. The selling, to me, it started to kind of like just show like the sellers were trying to get a little bit more like fatigued, like the selling wasn't happening with as much intensity as we've been seeing over the last few days. You could see as the market was dropping, many stocks that I track, they were not dropping with the market. So they were not dropping with the market. Therefore, that kind of divergence, that kind of positive divergence, where the market drops, but but where the market drops, but you don't see a confirmation in individual stocks, or the under the surface action was not confirming the downside pressure. That to me told me that it might be time to start looking for long positions at this point. But I also wanted to make sure that I get in at a decent entry, just to make sure that I don't get whipsawed too much as I'm trying to pinpoint a low here in this market. So here you can see here there was a nice little fall. This is a 15-minute chart. Not what looked like a falling wedge pattern, which is a pattern that I love to play. And lately, it's a pattern that's been working out really nicely, to be honest. And as you can see here as the market kept falling, you have a falling wedge pattern where you connect these lows here, and as these lows start to slant, they start to get slanted or diagonal. You have here the same thing, the highs start to get narrower and narrower and narrower, creating almost like a kind of like a very sharp descending sort of a triangle, like that comes at an angle. So that tells you that the selling pressure is starting to dissipate, and therefore creating the chance of a turn higher. So basically what I was looking for, once I saw this avalanche selling right here, that to me at that point, when I was sitting in the trade, in my trading desk, and I saw this right here, I saw this type of selling right here. That told me that there was a little bit of panic selling at the end, especially given that we sold off for a few days, and to see that kind of selling take place, after a few days of intense selling, or last few days, that kind of selling tells you that, hey, this might be like some longs capitulating, their climax. This is almost like a climax sell-off type deal. So, but what I was looking for is for the market to bounce and then give me a higher low confirmation. So I was looking for the market to sell off really hard here, bounce a little bit, and then come back down again. And this is where many people started to think, oh, here we go, we're gonna sell off again and break through lows. But this time it did not. It held. and it created a higher low right here on the S&P 500 on the 15-minute chart. You had a higher low right here, and I even sent this exact chart on Twitter, and I sent it and I emailed it to my subscribers. And this is the email I sent to subscribers, and this was the email that I also sent on Twitter saying, look out for a higher low right here. If we can get a higher low confirmation right here, if the market can hold it right here and then break out through this descending through this falling wedge pattern, then chances are we're going to be setting up for a bounce higher. So that's what I told people. That's what I told my subscribers. That's what I told my Twitter followers. So look out for a higher low here, and then probably a long entry, to get us above here, and then maybe take us to a few, like a bounce maybe for a few days. So that was the chart that I sent out. This is what the chart looks like here after one day. So as you can see here, yesterday we started to break out here. This happened late in the session yesterday, and you can see here the market just slowly kept moving higher and higher and higher. And today we're getting a nice confirmation as the market rallies a little bit more today. Now we're approaching a little bit of resistance right here, but overall the pattern played out really, really well. And here's the trade that I decided to take to play this particular that particular move in the S&P. I decided to play it using this stock right here by the symbol of YOKU. That was the stock that I decided to play with it. A potential short squeeze candidate. As you can see here, here's the 15-minute chart of YOKU, but let me just show you the daily chart first. Here's what I saw on the daily chart in the stock. As you can see, the stock was a nice momentum stock that went up for many weeks, and all of a sudden it topped out right here and it started to come down quite aggressively lower here. And as you can see here, the stock found a little bit as the stock took a beating here for a few days. You can see how here this candle right here told me, like, you can see it's a big doji candle, so this kind of like an indecision candle. And you can see here how the stock just kind of remained within this range, within this candle's range. The stock the next few days stayed within that range right here. So that told me that the sellers, they're not getting as aggressive as they were, say for example like up here or up here. So the sellers are starting to slow down right here. The sellers are starting to weaken, which could bring in some buyers. So basically that's what's caught my attention on the daily chart. Also, what I really love what I really liked about the stock is that the stock tried to break. You can see it here. Take a look at this low right here, guys. Take a look at this low right over here. This low of this candle right here. See that at 43, let's say 43.70. You can see here it broke below it on this candle right here. It broke below it and quickly came back above it. So that to me told me that for sure the sellers are starting to get they're starting to get nervous now, or the short sellers are starting to cover. For example, when you see short sellers try to break a low a previous day or the day before, or an area of support. Let's say they try to break this area of support. They tried to break it and then they got shy and then they quickly recovered. That tells me that, hey, you know what? The buyers might be starting to get aggressive here and the sellers might be starting to get weak. So right away I zoomed into the 15-minute chart to check out YOKU. So here it is, the 15-minute chart of YOKU. And as you can see, guys, here's where the chart broke down below this low. This was the low from a few days ago. This was the low of the candle. So this low right here would be where this low right here. So this was the low of this candle right here. So you can see how it tried to break it early on in the session. It broke below and then quickly came back up. See that? So it broke below and then quickly came back up. So that told me that the sellers are getting a little bit tired and the buyers might be stepping in. So this is what I saw on the 15-minute chart. And as you can see here, it just kind of like moved sideways here for a while. It consolidated and it kind of started forming a triangle type pattern, which is visible as you can see here. Check this out. So you can see here it tried to break below this low, came back above it, and now it's forming a triangle. Okay, so this technically is a neutral pattern. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to dig in even deeper. So I pulled up the 5 minute chart of YOKU right here. So this is the 5 minute chart, and as you can see, guys, here's the triangle that set me to get long into this name. And look at that, it's a beautiful triangle. Sellers getting weak, buyers hinting that they might be trying to get aggressive. This is a highly shorted stock. Stocks that are highly shorted tend to be explosive. So when a stock that has a lot of shorts in it, when the shorts decide to cover, when they decide to cover all at once, stocks tend to shoot up really fast and quick. So this was a perfect short squeeze candidate, which is what I was looking to play in this one. And as you can see, guys, so we were buying it here in the somewhere around 43.80 is where we entered it. 43.80. Some members entered around 43.50, 43.60, 43.80. That was around the general area where we entered right here. And as you can see, guys, just a few minutes later, maybe like 15, 20 minutes later, the stock literally exploded. And this was a short squeeze in action. And once the stock starts to look like this and volume starts to come in like that, you know right away you have a very, very big trade on your hand. So as the stock kept running higher, we were selling it. I was selling it for about $1.20 profit. Some members held on to it and sold it the next day for almost a $3 gain. Some guys played it with call options. So this was a great trade for anybody who participated in it. And I love these trades, that work right away. The short squeezes, where you get rewarded immediately after your entry. 15, 20 minutes after you enter a trade, and the trade starts to go in your direction right away. So this trade worked out really, really well. We booked about the official alert got us out at around $1.20 profits. Some members were selling up here the next day. So overall, a very good trade, and that's how we played this one. And I hope this video helps, guys. Okay, good luck.